Welcome, my friends, to YouTooSpain Live. This week, I will be asking our new friend, Charisse, the lawyer in Fuengirola, all about how to get the self-employment visa, and we'll also be updating you about the golden visa because there's been some news in the last few days. So join us with questions and comments on the live chat or in the comments below because you are a part of this too. You are welcome to YouTooSpain. Run the theme music and let's dance. Oh, yes, that's groovy. And speaking of groovy, let's meet my wonderful guest for today. It's Charisse. Good morning, Charisse. How are you?
Morning. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. All happy and bright this morning.
Happy
Unlike
Saturday.
the weather over in the UK and Ireland, which is terrible today. I hope everybody's all right over there. And
Here it's like summer.
yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah, we've got blue skies. Perfect. So, well, it's great to have you on the show. Let's see who we've got on the live chat that we can say hello to. People will be joining us very slowly as they come on to the live chat. Adam Farmelo, good morning from Wolverhampton, currently battening down the hatches. Yes, strong rain there. Have you got snow in Wolverhampton? I know my mother lives up further up in the northeast of England, and I think they are going to have lots of snow up there. And Paul Cook says, good morning, Skatz and Charisse. Good morning to you, Paul. There we go. I'm sure we'll have a lot more arriving on the live chat, and we can say hello to them as they arrive. And yes, do give us a wave as you arrive and say a few words so that we know you're there and you can start asking questions anytime. And while you're joining us, let's have a brief introduction from you, Charisse, because nobody on this channel has met you before. So tell us about yourself and your company.
Okay, my name is Charisse Prieto. I'm a lawyer with more than 15 years of experience. I was working before of Marbella because our office now is in Marbella in Madrid. I have studied in Madrid my degree in the university, and then 10 years ago I came to Marbella. I started with CPG lawyers 4 years ago. Our specialist is in real estate and immigration law and commercial law. We help the people, expat, obviously, and the people who wants to invest in Spain, who needs a resident, and of course, they need any legal matters assistant. Our office is in Marbella, but we assist in Malaga, also Alicante, Mediterranean area, and Madrid, of course.
Excellent. Yeah, I said you were in Fuengirola because that's where I've met you on the business networking group there. So yes, Marbella.
We are
Brilliant.
close.
Yes, yeah. And yeah, Adam Farmelo says very bad snow on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but all gone now. Oh, okay, you're just getting the rain and the wind then today. I saw a Facebook post from an old friend back in Ireland. They live on the west coast of Ireland, and they're just getting horizontal rain. They're saying the rain is going this way, and hitting them really, really bad. So they get the first weather that hits the coast before it gets to the UK. So yeah, it's on the way to you. Sorry, everybody in the UK. Okay then, let's start with the news about the golden visa because the Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez made an announcement 2 or 3 days ago, I think. There was talk previously about just the property part of the golden visa being discontinued, but I think he's talking about removing everything. Is that right?
Yeah, in May, I think that I want to remember that it was in May. He announced that he wants to remove the golden visa, apparently because he wants to protect the house and the properties for the people who wants to buy for residents, and he wants to avoid the speculation in Spain. It was in May. We didn't know what happened with the situation with golden visa until now. I think that it was this week or the last week they approved the law, but it's very important because the law is not implemented at the moment. So what's the meaning of that? We can apply for the golden visa at the moment. Okay, normally in Spain you can approve of the law, and the law takes 20 or 2 months more or less to be implemented, to be applicant. And we can extend in 5 months just in case in an exception. So at the moment I want to be clear with that, because the news and the newspaper and the news, I know that the people are very very confused with that. And no, the golden visa is still working. We are still working in that, because it's not implemented the law.
Yep. So they're talking, yeah, we're talking then maybe January or any time in the next 5 months.
Maybe, yeah, maybe for the next year, February, we can have any news, I think. But it's not clear. And another point that we don't know is we have to read the every clause of the law, because maybe it's just for the futures purchase that the clients or the people has, and but not in the past. So for example, if you bought a property 5 years ago and you want to apply now for the golden visa with the new law, maybe we have to study the situation and the law. You can. So the regulation depends on the law.
And how many pages is it? Is it going to take you a long time to read it?
I think so. I don't know, because we don't have the law. The law is approved, but not to read
Implemented.
exactly. So we
Yeah,
have
yeah, of course.
to read every clause to know what's the situation for the future and for the past and in the middle. So it's complicated.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Chris from Upsticks has just put a message up on the here saying, "Buenos dias, have a great show and see you soon, Skatz." And he was talking in his latest video all about the new residency rules, and he's saying there's such a lot of rules that it's going to take him and anyone else like yourself who helps people to get residency to read through absolutely everything, and because there are a lot of changes going on there.
Yeah, we are having a lot of change all the time. The law is changing all the time.
Yeah. So I wonder what effect it's going to have on the housing market. It's difficult to speculate now, isn't it?
To be honest, I don't think so. Of course, for the people who wants to buy just for the residents, of course, the market will be affected. But I think that in Marbella, Costa del Sol, on Mediterranean area, Alicante or Murcia, the people wants to invest because it's a very good investment to buy a property in Spain. The market is growing up every day. So I think that's not really, in Marbella and Costa del Sol, I think that we are not going to be affected by this. Of course, for the people they won't just buy for a residence, yes, but not for the market. So for I think that this rule is very, it's not very a lot working, because the market will be the same, will be the same speculation. The people for 500 is not the price that the people who want the teenagers or the young people who wants to buy the first property is not the price that they are going to afford. So I think that
Yeah.
this law is crazy, and we are not going to work a lot with this in the market.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye on the developments there and update everybody online when we find out the deadline date and when the law is implemented. And but for now, let's move on to the main topic of the show today, which is just as complicated, if not more complicated. It's the self-employment visa. We've not talked about this very
Before
much
to
for
talk
a
about
while.
this, Scott, I think that
Yep.
my advice about the golden visa for the people who is in the show is, if you have a property because you bought time ago, if you want to apply for the golden visa, is the time to do it, because we can. This is important, because if you have the property, and maybe you don't need the resident, but you can take it, because at the moment we can apply it.
Excellent. Good advice. Yes. Yeah. I would say so. And yeah, I suppose it depends. Even if you're just buying a property and you're in the middle of it now, then there's kind of still time, but you've got to be quick.
Exactly.
Possibly. Yeah. Good advice. So let's get straight on with some basic information about the self-employment visa, just to remind everybody what it is and who is eligible to apply.
Okay, the self-employment visa is, as I told you, it's a complicated visa, but it's very good if you want to have a business in Spain. You can have the resident here. We can apply in two ways. One is to make a company, a limited company. Another one is as autonomo, the like self-employed, alone. Okay. You can do it in your country, and you are going to take a visa, or if you are in Spain, we can apply here for the residents, directly for the residents. We apply in your country, in the consulate of the place where you are living. The visa is for 1 year, but we apply in Spain, the resident is for 2 years.
Yep.
So it's better, of course. And then you can renovate.
And there's is it true that there's no visa fee if you apply in Spain?
What?
Is there a difference if you apply from the UK, for example, in the consulate? There's a fee to pay, but there's not the same fee to pay.
Because you have to pay. You have to pay the visa's fees. Also, you have to pay two fees: the typical tax for the visa that everybody knows that they have to pay, and then the fees for the residents. So of course, my advice: come to Spain, and here we can apply for the self-employed visa.
Yeah, and I've heard in the past when we've talked about it, it could be a good idea to come for a year on the non-lucrative visa, for example, and do all of your research so that you're ready there and that you're in Spain, and then you can apply and get it ready, because it can take a long time, can't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, actually. How long does it take to apply and process?
It's very short, and if we are in Spain, it's 20 days working days. They have the 20 days to say something, to maybe they want to make any requirements. About the visa is 10 days, but after you have to come here, and we have to change from the visa to the residence permit. So my recommendation, of course, is to do here with the residents directly.
So you could actually do it in the time that you're here, just in the 90 days, just here as a tourist?
Of course, we can organize everything before you come, because I can do it, for example, with power of attorney. We can prepare with a notary in UK a good power of attorney with the apostilla, with everything that we need, and we can work for them here in Spain. They come just for the application. Because of course we need the passport stamp and the ticket of your flight to prove that you are at the moment in Spain.
Well, that's good to know. And what kind of businesses are more acceptable? Are there particular businesses that the authorities would say, yes, that's a good idea and we'll accept?
Yeah, this is a very good question, because this type of visa is not for everybody. It's more for the technologic works. If you want to apply, to make a business with the technology area, it's perfect for you. If not, it's very complicated, because the government wants that you make a business plan. In that business plan, you have to study and to explain the financial situation of the company, or the plan of the business. What type of job are you going to create, and how your business is going to affect or to favor the Spanish economic. And they want, of course, to to give more opportunity for the technology companies.
So that's probably what takes the longest length of time, isn't it? Your planning and preparation to come up with a very, very strong business plan. I know it's something that when I was looking to move to Spain with my wife, we're both autonomo, but if it hadn't been for getting an Irish passport, we would have found it impossible, I think, to get self-employed visas,
Yeah.
because as a musician and entertainer, that's not the sort of job that would be
It's
accepted,
not
really.
this is the problem. It's not very easy because the business plan that you have to prepare needs to be very, with a lot of details, and you have to convict to the government that your business or your company is going to help the Spanish economic, and you are going to create jobs. And so yeah, this is the only point that is difficult, because the rest of the requirements, I think that they are simple, are the same of, for example, the golden visa, or sometimes the non-lucrative and other permits that we have.
Yeah. So there can be. Well, what do you think are the main difficulties then in being successful that you've experienced?
Is the business plan.
Yeah. So do people think that a short plan will work, and they come to you with unprepared? Is that the main problem?
This is the big problem, because sometimes you don't know what do you have to include, what's that you have, the information that you have to give in the business plan. And I think that it needs to be very specific and very long, because they want to know every detail of the company. And sometimes, of course, I have clients who at the beginning they don't know what they are going to do in the future. They have just the idea and they want to start the idea, and in the business plan we have to put more information sometimes that we have.
And sometimes, I mean, if you've got a business that needs a property, then you really need that set up in advance of handing in your application, don't you? So that kind of thing is why coming here for a whole year on a different visa is a good idea, so that
Yeah.
you can buy the building, have it set up, do all of your research, your market research as well. That's going to be very important for a lot of businesses, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and are there any other mistakes that people make when they're applying, do you think?
There are a lot of mistakes sometimes if you don't are working with a lawyer. I think that sometimes the people, because internet at the moment give a lot of information, and sometimes I have clients that go to the consulate or the embassy in the country that where they live. They prepare the papers, and very easy the application form, and of course they say no, you cannot take this visa or this residence because you don't give the correct specific information that we need.
Yes, I can imagine. Yeah, and I've seen quite a lot of people on Facebook. I've not seen it so much recently. I think people are getting the idea now of how difficult it is. So I don't see quite as many people questioning and saying, I'm a hairdresser, I want to move to Spain, and because
This is not for any type, every type of business that you want to start. You cannot come and to start a restaurant, for example, with that type of visa. This is for technologic work or business that you want to start here. Now you know that the technology is the most important
yeah,
thing that we have.
yeah, Spain's spending a lot of money on new
We are
technology. It's
spending a lot. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah. Is there an actual list of specific businesses that you can check out that would be good to start?
every work about the technology depends depend on the client, depend on the idea that they have, and depends. But I cannot recommend any type of idea that you want to start. I think this is the work of the client, and we help them to put in the market and the business.
Excellent. I'll just say hello to Jed Tierney. Good morning from a blustery UK. Do you know that word, Charisse? Blustery. That's a good one. It's windy and in your face. So Jed saying some UK papers reporting that there has been a spike in US citizens seeking to move to Spain following the US election. Yes, I think that's bound to happen. I know this.
Every day is more complicated to come here. I don't know why they don't want to. For me, it's very complicated to understand that, because of course I think that the people who wants to come here with a residence, they want to give a good situation for the Spanish economic. They want to pay tax. They want to invest here. And they put a lot of problem, and sometimes it's very frustrated for the client, because we have many requirements sometimes, and it's like, oh my God, it's very complicated.
Yeah. The main complication I see from America, from the US, is that they complain that there's too much tax compared to the US, because there are ways of avoiding tax in the US that and they quite like doing that. So it'll be interesting to see the figures over the next year of how many more people are moving over from the US. I know there's somebody in Compito, where I live, who's just set up in business to help Americans come over to Spain.
We are having a lot of clients also from America buying properties here because they want to try to come here.
Yes, and avoid the next 4 years of government in America.
Yeah, with the tax and everything. Yeah.
So in a few moments we'll go through the application process. This is probably a difficult part as well, and also where to apply. But for now, let's just do our regular half-time reminder of all of the services available to you as a YouTooSpain follower. And while you're watching that little video, just take a moment to subscribe and click on the like button. It's all very quick, it costs you nothing, and it helps us to help you. So take it away, lads, and we'll see you all in a couple of minutes. Are you getting the most out of YouTooSpain? Yes, no, I don't know. Did you know that apart from these Saturday morning live shows with expert guests, or expats with really exciting stories to tell, it's not the bloody Graham Norton show. There are videos every Wednesday evening, packed with all the information you need, so we can move to Spain and enjoy living here. Without paying tax? No, Colonel, that's illegal. Naughty boy. Bah! You can find out how to navigate the bureaucracy successfully. How do I find the videos, darling? Just subscribe to the YouTube channel. And click on the bell, you useless cunt. Colonel, there's also a gorgeous YouTooSpain website full of articles, links and everything you need. YouTooSpain.com. And if you want to say thank you to YouTooSpain for all of the valuable information, or if you've been entertained, you can support Skatz with a donation. He looks like he needs a support. The poor bugger can't even stand up. If he was a horse, I'd shoot him. Colonel! The Colonel's not a very nice man. It's all right. He's just a two-dimensional stereotype. Aren't we all, sweetie? I'm not. Brexit! And how do I support YouTooSpain? Use the QR code in the corner! Or you can find it in the SuperLink in the video description below. Where? In the video description, you bloody idiot. I've warned you, Colonel. I'll send you back to the nunnery. There! It's below the video title. down there.
It says, read more.
That's right. Just click or tap on that and lots more text appears. There's so much more down below.
There.
And don't forget the Facebook page and the YouTooSpain community group, darling, where you can talk to other people just like you. Oh, there's no one like me, sweetie.
Thank goodness.
Is that everything? There's a guest waiting to tell me things. Oh, I do like things. Where's Doogie Dog?
I'm stuck behind a wall.
Oh, sorry, Doogie. Follow my voice.
Thank you, Master. Get back to the show. I need to go and punch some servants.
Oh, Colonel. Back to Skatz in the studio. Well, thank you very much, lads. That was very informative. Let's get back to the topic of today. I should let people know as well that there might not be a video on Wednesday next week, and there might not be a show next Saturday because I am going into hospital at last for the operation. That's going to be on Wednesday. So unless I prepare a video in advance, then there's not going to be anything happening next week. So, and I don't know how long I'll be off. I don't know whether I'll be able to climb up the stairs to this office or not after that, and I might have to do the show on my laptop if I do the show at all. But I should really take a break. But we shall see anyway, and I'll announce anything that I'm going to be doing. I'll be able to get onto Facebook and announce to you. So make sure you join the Facebook group or the Facebook page. There's one of them is public and the other one is a private group. So I'll announce on there, and I was just talking to Charisse before as well. I'll announce it on Instagram as well. We do have a channel, but I keep forgetting to use it. So there we go. Let's get on to the application process then for the self-employment visa. So we've already talked about where to apply for it. You can either do it from the consulate in your home country of residence, or you can do it from inside of Spain while you're on holiday, or you're on the non-lucrative visa. And so we've talked about those two different methods and the different fees. So whereabouts in Spain, is it the UGE it's called in Spain where you apply, Charisse?
What do you refer with UE?
It's the actual organisation that you apply to for a self-employment.
Yeah, we have to organize. We can organize all the requirements and documents that we have to make in the application. I don't mind that if you are not in Spain, because we can help you here in your country, and we can do, or in the consulate as you told, or here in Spain directly to the online application. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
easier.
It's easier. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's is it the UGE? Is that the one? That's the organisation.
Exactly.
Yes, great, and yes, and that's the one that you do working visas and everything as well.
The principal difference that we were talking before is the time. If we do in the consulate in your country, is 1 year the visa, and then we have to change. And if you do make the application here in Spain, it's 2 years, and the renovation is 2 years more. Okay.
Yeah, great. That means renewal in English, by the way, for those watching. And do you have a fixed fee that you charge for helping people through the process, or does it depend on circumstances?
Depend on the clients, and depends on the situation that we have. Because depend if you want, for example, to make a company. That's my recommendation, because sometimes the limited company here protect your assets, your personal assets, and you don't mix your personal assets with the situation of the company. So, for example, the first step that we have to do is to set up the company where we are going to work. Mm-hmm. So depend the fees, of course, are depend on the every case, every client, every situation that we need.
Great. Okay, so take us through the application process then. What happens first? I suppose it's the plan, isn't it, first?
It's a plan. Okay, the first thing that you have to take in account is your professional profile. So we need your degree, your university degree, certificates of your profession, a CV of your work or your career, any master that you have, because we need to prove that you have the correct professional profile that the government wants to give this type of visa. Okay.
Okay.
The second one is the plan, the business plan that we have to prepare. We have to put the description of the activity, of course, the date when you want to start, what type of activity do you want to do, what's going to be the impact in the economical situation in Spain, if you are going to create jobs, what type of jobs do you want to create. Description of the product or the service that you are going to give. You have to analyze the market about your business. How is the market? How is going to affect your company or your business in that market, and how is going to affect in the to affect to the Spanish economic.
And
This is the most important from the main document specific to this type of residence. Then, of course, we need the passport with the stamp that you are in Spain if we apply in Spain, the insurance, the private insurance that we need, which needs a certificate from the doctor in your country that everything is okay, you don't have any problem. Criminal records. We have to prove that you have economical means to live here. Minimum, I recommend to have certificate from the bank, 15,000 to prove that you can stay here in the beginning without any problem. If you want to come with family, we have to talk about this. It's possible. We can prove that you with the marriage certificate, of course, of the birth certificate of your kids also. And for any family member that you want to come with you, is more or less 6,000 that we have to prove.
can the spouse of an applicant work as well?
What?
Can the spouse, the husband or wife,
Yeah, of
can
course.
they can work?
And the key is like your family.
Yeah.
You can come with your family. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
We have to prove, of course, the relation with the marriage certificate, or if you are not married, but we can prove that you lived together time ago and you have a relationship. We have here in Spain the name of pareja de hecho. I don't know how do you say in your, but
I think it's common law.
yeah. So in that case, it's possible also. So it's
Great.
to come here, and you can come with your family.
Yeah. And can they get a job?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Great. Yes, you were talking before about the qualifications, university degree and things like
Yeah.
that. Would they accept somebody who's got no university degree, but maybe 20 years of experience
Exactly.
running a
Yeah,
company?
because we are going to prove with your CV. This type of visa, as much documents we can get, is better to prove all that we want. Of course, with the CV, it's very important to prove what type of profile you have. But of course, if you have scores, experience, maybe you don't have a university, but no problem. You have another ways to prove that you have the correct profile.
And would you have needed to have run the business before in the UK so that
Exactly. We can. Yeah. Of course, all the documents needs to be translated. Of course, and with the apostilla, the official documents.
Great. Yeah, that's the same with any documents, isn't it? When you're
Yeah, that's
applying.
sometimes it's another problem because we take time to make the apostilla to translate, but we work with a company here, for example, for the translation. So it's easier if you send me the documents directly. I send to this company in 3 days. We can get it.
Yes, that is good. It can be very expensive if you've got a very long business plan, can't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. It's. I think last time I got one translated, it was about €50 per page, something like that. Is that
Yeah,
similar price?
it's a minimum. I always recommend, if we can prove more with properties, with any proof that we can do about the economical means is better, because they are going to study the general situation that you have, and they are going to accept for this.
Excellent. That's good to know. We've got some more hellos to say. John the Joiner. Hi, Skatz and Co. Sorry we're late, folks. I'll get a note later. That's a note from his mum to say sorry. And good morning from Yogi. Hello, Yogi. And thanks very much for the donation. That is very much appreciated. And your guest is very knowledgeable, and he's blowing you a kiss as well. There you go. Stop it, Yogi. And yeah. Has anyone got any questions on the live chat? While we continue through, is there anything else we need for the application process that you've not mentioned?
I'm trying to check if we don't have, but I think if you want, we can talk about if you are thinking, or the client are thinking to set up the company here. How is the progress to set up the company?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that.
Yeah, because if you are not in Spain, as I told you, we can do it by power of attorney. The first step is to think about the name of the company. The name of the company is not the same of the commercial name of your business, because you can do whatever you want. And for the name of the company, we need a certificate from the register that this name is free. This is the first step. We have to choose 5 options to ask this certificate, okay? With that certificate, we go to the notary and we set up the company. We have to choose who are going to be the partners, the shares, the administrator, if the administrator will be remunerated or not. So the rules of the company that you want to have in your company, and they are going to send to the register, of course, to make the registration of your company. Could be 15 working days, so more or less is 1 month. After that, we have the company. And we can do all this process, we can do by power of attorney. So if the client doesn't want to come to Spain because they don't have any plans to come, we can do it in their name.
Great. Anything else you need to know there?
I think that we were talking about the most important points about this type of visa.
Great. We seem to have covered it really nicely, actually. Yogi has got a question. Oh, this is interesting, because you can be self-employed on the digital nomad visa. So he's asking the question, how does this process work with the digital nomad visa? Is it the same thing?
No, it's different, but it's quite similar, because there are the same type of visa that you are going to apply about the technology. But the nomad visa is because you are working for a company who allowed you to work in another country or in your home, and it's totally different, because the nomad visa, normally you are not going to make a business. You are going to come to Spain to live here, but your employer are for example, in UK.
Yes, that's true. You need 80% or more of your business in a different country, don't you?
In a different country, exactly.
Yeah. So you'd be autonomo.
No,
or working. You could be
employee
autonomous.
for a company who works in a digital way, and needs
Yeah.
to be the same in a technologic area. It's not possible if, for example, if you are a lawyer and you want to work in Spain, but your company is in UK, is not possible. It needs to be the same technology area, but it's for this. You are employee, and your company allow you to work in another country.
Yeah. Yogi is in technology, so you're in a good position there. And we have John McClue's online. I've not seen your name for a little while, John. Morning, folks. Great show. And is it easier, Jed says, setting up a company in Spain if you have an EU passport?
This question is very good. Doesn't matter. To be honest, the complication and the process to set up a company here is super easy, and doesn't matter if your passport is from European Union or is from UK, USA, or any other country. It's the same.
Yeah, as long as you can get the visa first, but obviously you don't need one if you've got an EU passport. So that's
of course, if you have a European passport, you don't need the visa. You are going just to make the company and to start working here normal.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I did. Yes, absolutely. Definitely easier. That part of the process is easier, certainly.
Yeah, this is the.
But yeah.
I see.
Lovely. Any more questions there on the live chat? Otherwise, it's going to be a nice short show today, and I think that makes a nice change. So, is there any more words of advice for our watchers while we wait for any more questions to come up, Charisse? Any advice for anyone that you can think of?
In my opinion, my advice will be always to have the good information and to have one meeting at least with a lawyer to know how is the process, what's your situation, and maybe you are thinking, for example, Yogi are thinking in digital nomad visa, but after to talk with the lawyers, you can change of opinion because we can find a better situation, a better option for you, depend on your circumstance. So I think that's very important to be advised by a lawyer, a specific lawyer in Spain. Of course, we have a second problem with the language. Here in Spain, the government or the official organism doesn't speak English most of the time. So for the clients or for the people, it's very frustrated that. So I think that's very important to have one meeting. I normally have a video call meeting with my clients at the beginning to know what's the situation, how is the process that you want to start, what do you expect to be here, and we find the better solution.
Excellent, yes. And fortunately, your English is very good, so yeah, you're the right kind of person to translate between your clients and the authorities. So that is good. Yogi says to you, do you offer services to take us through this process? Yes, she is a lawyer. Obviously, Yogi wasn't here at the start when you introduced who you are and what you do. So, yeah, point us to a website, maybe. Yes, I have Charisse's company.
You have it? Because I don't know how I have to write here.
I've written it below in the video description. It's already there. So as people are watching the video, I don't think you can do it from there, Charisse. And maybe I can write it in here.
And it's important to say that, of course, the first meeting for a client who comes from these shows is free, of any fees. So
free
the first
consultation,
advice
right?
is totally free, and we can talk about the situation that everybody has, and we can study the case.
So it's CPG Abogados?
Abogados.
Is that the CPG Abogados.es?
Yeah.
.es. There we go.
Exactly. And they can follow in Instagram and Facebook, because sometimes we put blogs with information that maybe for the clients are interested, say how to get a visa or how to do a purchase and any other advice that maybe for them is interesting.
Excellent. Yes, and I found it by putting CPG lawyers in Google as well.
Yeah, exactly.
If you put Spain on the end, that'll help. And CPG, that's just your initials, Charisse's initials.
And we can put, if you want, I don't know if I can write. Let me check our email, because I will try to put here our email if they want to send directly the question, and we can help them.
Great. Let's see if that comes up on the live chat. It might just come up on my private chat here, but if it does, then I will drop it straight into the live chat.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know if. Let me see.
Yes, that's come up here.
You can put.
Right, there we go.
We have
I'll copy that.
WhatsApp, so they can send us the questions also.
There you go. I've put that in the live chat now. So yes, what I'll do is as well, I will put that. I'm going to put that on my script, and I'll put it underneath in the video description as well. So we've got that. The website's already there, which has got the phone number and the email on it as well.
Yeah.
So you can easily get in touch.
And we are going to have a special offer for the clients who comes from you, of course, for this
Absolutely.
type of visa or for any other situation that they could have in Spain about legal matter.
Wonderful. That's very good. Thank you for doing that. And yes, do everybody let Charisse know when you get in touch with her that you saw her on here on YouTooSpain. So, any more questions coming through at the moment? Not that I can see. And you've got all of the information that you need there on the live chat. Lovely. That's all come through. I think once the video is over, I don't know if people can see the live chat, but so don't worry about that. If you know how to get on the video description, then you can find the information. If you can't, then just get in touch in the comments, and I could pin a comment to the very top so you can see that it's the top comment that comes up when you look at the video as well. So, well, I think that's all we've got time for then. That's unusual for me to say that at only 47 minutes into the video. It's lovely to have a brief on it. It's been excellent having you on the show. Make sure everybody you click on the like button if you've got some information from this, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And in a moment, I normally say at this point, I'll tell you who your special guest is going to be on the show next week, but there might not be a show next week. If there is a show, I'll tell you in a minute who it's going to be. We do actually have the Christmas show. Let me tell you a little bit about this, just in case we aren't on next week. It's December the 14th is, if I'm fit and well and able to do it, December the 14th is going to be the Christmas show, the very last live show of the year that we're doing. And then I'm definitely going to be taking a break until the new year. So, Charisse, you're welcome to drop in on that show as well if you want. And Sam is going to be dropping in as our friend Sam from the business networking group. If you're not free on that day, then you can send us in a little video, sort of 30 seconds long, just to say Merry Christmas to everyone and give everyone a wave. So you've got two options there. And yes, Yogi says adios amigos. And yeah, any more messages coming through on the chat? None that I can see. It's been lovely to have you all on the live chat, and it's been lovely to have you, Charisse, as a guest on the show, and you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. I hope that I help you a little bit with the information about the golden visa and the situation that we have at the moment. I know that it's complicated, and sometimes the news are very complicated to understand because the situation is not clear. So my advice, of course, is to talk with a lawyer about the situation that is at the moment, what happened with the law, and every clause that we are going to have, and how it's going to affect the people that wants to apply, and of course for the self-employed visa.
Excellent. All right then. So everybody give a wave to Charisse and send a virtual hug and say goodbye for now. It's been a pleasure. And thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good Saturday.
Thank you. And you. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
There we go. So, wasn't that wonderful? And by the way, that idea of sending in a little Christmas video message is for all of you out there, the watchers. If you have, if you'd like to send in a little Christmas video, then do that as soon as possible, so I've got time to compile them from my hospital bed and make sure they're in landscape. That's that way round, not that way round, that way round, so that we can show them full screen. Otherwise you'll just be a little strip in the middle of the screen. And get in touch via the SuperLink below, which is in the video description, for details of how to send them to me, because I think maybe sending them on WhatsApp might be the easiest, and there's a link to that down there. So there's Chris says, great show from Upsticks, and if we do a show next week, then it will be Chris from Upsticks, and we'll see. I'll put an announcement on Facebook during the week, if I can, to let you know if I'm out of hospital or whatever. Anyway, and I don't know what the special feature is going to be. Probably how well I am. And I will also be. I was going to announce the Christmas challenge. I think we'll do that. We'll have to do that on Facebook, won't we, Chris? Or maybe we can announce it on Upsticks's YouTube channel as well. We're not doing a raffle this year, and if we do a show, we'll be debating and arguing about something hilarious. And so that's it. Thank you, all of you, for joining us and leaving comments and hitting the like button and supporting us with donations and memberships. It's all very much appreciated. I'll see you soon. I don't know when it's going to be, but that is all for this week. Someone pass around the self-employment cookies. So peace and love, peas and fluff. And here's one final message from all of us here at YouTooSpain.
Goodbye, toodaloo,
Peace and love.
peas and fluff. Oi, oi! Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
One more cosmic dance?
All right then. Look, Mum, I'm dancing.
Oh, I'm all a quiver.
Let's dance.